is, how can you move to Lithuania in 2027? The first thing you need to do is get your educational documents, your BSc certificates, your transcript, and for those going for a BSc program, your WAEC certificates and your HND certificates. Now, with your WAEC certificates, you cannot apply directly for a BSc program in Lithuania. You need your WAEC certificate or your NICO certificates and also an HND certificate for you to apply for a BSc in Lithuania. But for an MSc program, your BSc certificate and your transcript is enough to apply for an MSc program in Lithuania. So if you want to start up the first process, the first thing you need to do is get all these documents, like I said. Then also add your PCC. PCC stands for Police Character Certificate. You need to legalize your PCC certificate in Nigeria, and you also need to legalize your PCC certificate in Lithuania. Once you've done this, the next step is to look for a school. Check the requirements. Ensure you meet the requirements. Check the application fee. Once you are sure about this particular program or school, you put in an application. Sometimes they may request for an interview. Some schools may request for an interview. For those as well who actually have a long study gap of 5-10 years, be sure to get an interview from the school. They'll want to know why you are coming back to school after a long period of time. And if you are also changing course, maybe you studied sociology in your BSc and then you want to study a different program in your MSc, they would ask you to relate how this course is of benefits to you. So it's your duty to prove why you want to study this course. So if you have a working experience in that particular program, you can easily say, okay, I have so working experience in this, and that is why I'm choosing to change careers and get a professional degree for this program. That's quite understandable. So once you've done that, submit the application, they're okay with it. If you get a response from the school that you've been granted a study place to study in Lithuania, well, congratulations. The next thing you need to do now is pay your tuition fee. So this is very important because a lot of you have been asking, can I pay on installment for Lithuania? The thing with Lithuania is no. For your first year, you cannot pay on installments. For your first year, you have to pay your tuition fee in full. Once you have done that, some universities may still ask you to provide your bank statement to be sure that you can take care of yourself and you have the funds required to stay in Lithuania for 1 full year. So you need to be very ready for that you have your bank statement ready with the required proof of funds. And proof of funds for Lithuania stands at 8,000 euros. In Naira, that's about 13.7. So you can just make it an approximate of 14 million Naira for a year after you must have paid your tuition fee in full. So that is the proof of funds for Lithuania. So your university may ask you to submit your bank statement as well once you paid your tuition fee to be sure that yes, you are able to take care of yourself in Lithuania for 1 year. And once you have done that, you've gotten your real letter of admission. The next stage for you is to upload all your documents to Migris. Now, Migris is MIGRIS. This is the body that is responsible for everything concerning residence permits in Lithuania, whether you are accepted or you are not accepted. You have to go to the portal online. You have to upload all your documents, original, admission letter, educational certificates, your PCC that is legalized. You have to upload everything on Migris. Now, it gets very interesting because Migris is the portal is a very, very sensitive portal in the sense that you have 2 opportunities to submit an application. If you submit an application the first time and you made a mistake with any of the details or you uploaded the wrong information, you have a second opportunity to submit another application. If you miss out on the second opportunity, maybe you made a mistake again, then I'm sorry, that portal will log you out for the next 4 months. So you cannot make any other application till after 4 months. So you need to be very, very careful when you are uploading your information on Migris. On that same portal of Migris, you will see a section where you have to select the center you want to submit your visa application. You have the option of choosing Ghana. For those of us in Nigeria, Ghana is the closest. You can choose Ghana, you can choose Egypt, there's also Philippines. So you choose a VFS center that is very close to you, and then you upload your information and then you submit. And then you get notification on the day where you are to go to the VFS center to submit all your original documents. So for Nigerians who are going to Ghana, you know Ghana is close by, so you have to do all your documents. When you arrive at the VFS center, you do your thumbprints, you do your biometrics, and then you submit them, and then you go back home and you expect a decision if your residence permit has been granted or not. On that, 2 things I want to say as well for Lithuania. For those of you who have an HND certificate, you cannot apply for a master's program. your HND certificate can only get you a BSc program in Lithuania. So I've gotten a lot of questions about can I go to Lithuania and get an MSc course with my HND certificate? It's not possible. And also, for those of those who are married, want to go with your dependents, yes, you can go with your dependents to Lithuania, but the main applicant has to go first before the dependents come join later. So there are lots of information about how you can move the dependents, the proof of funds for that, and all that on the marriage website. So it's for you to go to the portal and check out the requirements, ensure you meet them, and you put in your application, you get your residence permit. So Lithuania for this year, it's quite, you can't actually join Lithuania or go to Lithuania this year in 2026, but the next intake is in February 2027. So if you start your application right now, you can equally meet up for Lithuania and join them in February 2027. So if you have any other questions or there's something I forgot to add or say, I will put it in the description box. If you have any questions about Lithuania, maybe you are still confused about some things I said, or you still don't know how to start the process, you can send a mail to me at immigratewithj@gmail.com, or you can send a DM to me on Facebook at migratewithj, and I'll be happy to respond to your questions. So bye for now, and I'll see you in my next one.